How many? One or two?
Just,
or anything else?
that's it.
I'm gonna be 49.
Hi. Okay, thank you.
Good morning, guys. We're getting lunch a little early because we're just coming to town to get some coffee. I stayed up till 12:30 finishing editing for today's vlog that I posted this morning, and then I spent the morning pretty much editing tomorrow's video, got it done, did my thumbnail, posted it, it's ready to go.
Do you want a straw?
No, thank you. Maybe this is always our little third wheel. Today's video, I'll probably talk to you guys a little bit about like homeschool prep, like kind of things that I do to get ready for the week, and then probably whatever we meal prep today, and you know, we'll see what else we get done. But typically on Sundays, that's kind of our routine. Go.
One more.
I'm alive.
Go!
Can I hold it? Okay, hold on, let me set this up. Right. Okay, so I plan every 6 weeks. We always do math, language arts, Spanish. The kids also do their own independent work, which is reading, writing, handwriting, and math warm-up. Besides that, I choose one special subject, sometimes two, one being a more hands-on special subject and then one being more of a read aloud. So it's, to me, that's a good balance of still like teaching something and being able to add more things without giving yourself or the kids like extra work. I also incorporate a couple of readings with Mavis that I either do with my older two, my 3rd and 4th grader as well, or Mavis and I will just do it together. So that also comes into the mix. So I've been doing a lot of little science experiments that are a part of Mavis's preschool curriculum. And that's been helping me because I don't have to kind of plan for that. A lot of the times I am doing like kind of whatever the kids are interested in for a special subject. So I'll sit down with them now at 8 and 9. I feel like we started at 7 and 8, even 6 and 7 maybe, where I would sit them down and just ask them like, hey, so look, I have an idea. We can talk about this, or we can study about this, or we can learn about this. What do you guys think? I would already do kind of like have a rough idea of like the things that I know that they'd like, but you know, obviously we can't do everything, so that also helps with the decision making, because sometimes just to make decisions it's really difficult. So that's when they started to kind of help me with that, and it's a lot more, you know, peaceful when everyone is like excited for what they're gonna learn, you know. So I'm behind on my planning right now. We have I want to say 2 weeks left of school. Is it 2 weeks? Holy. What I do at this point in the 6 week stretch is that I kind of look back and see what we didn't get done that I, you know, really want to get done, that for whatever reason we just didn't get it done, but we really were looking forward to it or something. I've been planning for the past 3 weeks in my iPad, and I love to use my iPad when I just am feeling scatterbrained and I just want everything in one place. I have ADHD, so that really helps as far as like, where's this notebook? Where's this planner? I cannot tell you how many planners and just notebooks I have just filled with notes and lists and schedules and routines and things. I have been using this planner since we started this school year. So like I said, the past 3 weeks, I've been using my iPad. But now that I kind of pulled this out, because it's literally been in my drawer, I'm kind of regretting that, because I feel like I just should just commit to this. It's been working. You know, whenever you start a new planner, it gets a little bit, you know, it's a little bit iffy in the beginning because you're trying to figure out how to use all the sections. And this one's pretty blank. It's not dated, and you know, you can kind of use the spaces in your own way. So I figured all that out. I like it a lot. So there wasn't anything wrong with the planner, but I also don't want to have this in the back of my mind where I'm like, well, am I going to need to transfer all the things that I already did for the past 16 weeks of school into the iPad, or should I just take the 3 weeks that I did in the iPad and just transfer them to my paper planner? So I think that one sounds more possible and realistic. So I'm probably gonna do that gradually throughout the week. And I'm remembering why I did that as well is because I didn't plan 6 weeks like I just explained to you guys, because that also happens. But I did do the other 2 rounds. So we're technically gonna start our 16th week of school. This is our 3rd session of 6 weeks, if that makes sense. Like we did 1 through 6, took a week off, 7 through 12, and then we took a week off. And then right now we are doing weeks 13 through 18, and that will end the 15th of December. So we are technically entering week 17, right? Yeah, because we're going to do 17 and 18. Week 17 and 18, and then we will have 3 weeks off of school. We're going to take the last 2 weeks off of December and the first week off of January. Before, I would have us just take the whole month of December off, but I don't think it's necessary anymore. I think I liked spacing it out like that, where we have 2 weeks off in December, 1 week off in the beginning of January. So we're going to take all that time off, maybe a 4th week if we want to do that. But yeah, we're going to end on 18 weeks of school on December 15th. So like I said about writing down what I'm going to need and just what materials I'm going to need by what we chose. Yeah, I didn't do that last time. So that's why I found it easy to kind of stray away from my planner and try something in my iPad because of that. So here's week 13. So this is how I would kind of structure it. This is the first page you see for the weekly spread. So I would kind of write in like if we had read alouds on top, and then if we had activities on the bottom on that first row. So that way I separated them. It's easier for me to check it off once we do it. And then on this side, I kind of would write any activities we had going on and what subjects we actually did. I wouldn't do this little schedule side here. I just write in what subjects we touched on that day, because sometimes we don't do an actual lesson, but we will do like life skills, or we'll read a book about something that wasn't planned, but it was about geography or science, and we didn't do geography or science that day. So I wrote it in as something that we learned that was in that subject matters. So this is where it's easy for me to kind of go back the other weeks and see, and then this is the actual planner part. So sometimes I don't even write, look, I just wrote in, oh, this week I did. So sometimes, like this week before, I didn't write anything. This was for week, what was this? Week 12. I kind of did just the basics of what we were going to do as far as read alouds and activities. I wrote nothing because that's pretty much what we got done, the read alouds and the activities. Oh, I see. I'm remembering now. It's all coming back. So the first week that we started back was 11/6. So that's where we started back. And after that, I didn't plan for 14. So I planned for week 15, which we only did 2 days of school that week because of the holiday. And then week 16, which was last week, I planned it in my iPad. Yeah, I spend some time refreshing my memory because ADHD. So, okay, so this is our cart. Don't mind that random spray bottle over there. This is for pretty much all my instructor's guides, and I do have their math in here. These are the books that Mavis does from her Torchlight pre-K curriculum. These are activities, the scientist, the engineer one, and these are read alouds for, this is a nature book. This is about feelings and emotional intelligence. And then this one is about breathing, coping skills, showing kids how to be calm and focus anytime, anywhere. Okay, and then this one too, this is Mavis's favorite book. So I'm bored. The Bully at School. Broken, brave, lonely, embarrassed. Just giving words to feelings. And then this nature book, just little short stories about random things in nature. Okay, so these are the read alouds, just a week 6. So I was kind of journaling here some things that went on. I have the read alouds here, activities, projects here, and then I kind of just write in what book, what page, what book, what page. And then down here I write what book, what page, and then the name of the activity and the materials that I'll need. Same thing here. And then when we don't do it, I just cross it off, you know. So here I sometimes write nothing, but I try to just write in what subjects we learned that day, or if we had any activities that day. That's pretty much how I would pre-plan. That's all I would do. I wouldn't say, oh, we're going to do this on Monday, we're going to do this on Tuesday, we're going to do this. No, I just wrote them in, gave myself, you know, the options, and then we did what we wanted to do from that. So again, read alouds, pages, books, and then some weeks we wouldn't do any activities or projects. We would just do all our bare minimum stuff. So sometimes I'd get really fancy, write out, you know, objectives. These are depending on what the Torchlight curriculum says I'm supposed to be doing that week. But again, sometimes we read more than just this page, because this would only be 3 read alouds a week. This would be, if I did all these activities, this would be 1, 2, 3 activities. And we do 4 days of school. So we could do all these read alouds in 1 day. No problem, you know? So it just depends on how we do it. And yeah, it just gives me kind of a place to start. And I can kind of pair things together that go together, as far as like maybe this nature story is going to be about bats. And then I can find something that has to do with the bat activity, or I will just have them do a bat activity because I read ahead and saw that this story is going to be about bats. You know what I'm saying? So you can plan just as much or just as little as I do. So even though I didn't write it down for what week, I did go through the Torchlight. I have the curriculum book printed out, so I just go to the week that we're at, and then I just tabbed what week that page was for. So when I put these in my basket, I just look at the tabs on the side, and I'm just like, oh, we're at week 12, 13, whatever. We're going to read that. We're going to read this. The only problem with that is that then I rip out the Post-it, and then I didn't write it in my book, and now I don't know which story we read. In my planner, I should say. Now I have to go back into the Torchlight curriculum so that I can see what reading was for that week from that book. So yeah, and like today we just did a random, what was it, like a little science experiment. RAMSES did a science experiment with the kids, with the plastic bag full of water and like the pencils and stuff. So yeah, sometimes we just be doing stuff for no reasons. I hope I don't confuse you guys. I also forgot to mention these two. These are also from the Torchlight Pre-K curriculum. I bought them, but they were recommended as a spine for them. So we use them pretty much weekly, or they're assigned to be used weekly. So again, I did the same thing with the tabs. The difference between these and these 3 is that these 3 are just read alouds. These 2 are art activities, and then these are like science and the engineering one activities. The science one has pretty much 1 a week. The engineering one has maybe 1 every other or every couple of weeks. So yeah, this is what I kind of go off of. And if we get it done, we get it done. If we don't, then we don't. As far as the activities go, just because they do have their extracurriculars. Mavis is also doing a nature class right now, so I'm not sweating too much of them doing a lot of hands-on activities at home, more than we already do. They paint pretty much every day. They draw, and we do lots of like Play-Doh and like sensory stuff. So this is just extra. You know what I'm saying? I don't beat myself up anymore if I don't get every single box checked. I used to be like that, and it drove me crazy, and that's why I don't do it like assigned per day what I'm going to do each day. Every day is different. So we have been bouncing back and forth between nature anatomy and farm anatomy. We kind of, you know, they kind of go together in a lot of ways. So we have been we're reading through these, doing some activities as far as like more artsy activities, or just kind of taking notes about things that interested the kids. So yeah, we've been doing these two, and I try to do about 2 days for these as well, 2 to 3 days. And then these were my older twos read alouds. This was Season of the Witch. They really like this book. So this is just lots of history of witches and other magical folk. And then the animal book, we were reading a couple of these. They were reading a couple of these. These are our breakfast read alouds. That helps the not turning the TV on. Because the 4-year-old will ask pretty much every day if we could watch something once they sit down to eat. So that's when in my brain, I'm like, oh, let's read a book. Let's get the books. These are the read alouds that we're doing for lunchtime. For the planning that I said I didn't do, let's plan now for the next 2 weeks, so we can get as much learning, as much fun and hands-on stuff as we can these next 2 weeks, and then we can relax for a couple of weeks and just kind of just do fun stuff and not have to do book work. You know, that's all that means when we're on a break. We just do more fun stuff and less book work. So we're doing week 17. These Sony headphones that Ramses got me last year, I think he got them for me for Christmas. They have the noise canceling, so if you don't even want to listen to anything and just put the noise canceling on, you can't hear anything. And then when you talk, it senses the like vibration and it will take the noise canceling off so that you can hear. So once you talk out loud like this, like now I can hear the kids and all that. But then once I get quiet for, I don't know, like 5 seconds or more, a little bit more than that, it'll go like ding, and then you can not hear anymore. Or there's a button that you can push. Okay, so I pretty much wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because this counts for 2, like 1 for each of the kids, 8 and 9. And these two might have a page, an activity page, or something that we watch that goes along with this. But for the most part, it's a read aloud. And then these are all the activities. So again, I kind of don't like to commit to this many activities on a regular week. But like I said, we have 2 weeks left before our long winter break. So I really want to get as much done as possible. If not, these are always great to do during breaks, because they're hands-on activities. You can do it one day and then, you know, be done with it, instead of, you know, I know that doing this along with the regular subjects is what sometimes is hard. But yeah, we'll do as much as we can here. I know that we have all the materials for all this stuff, and that we would have fun doing all this stuff. So yes, trust me, I do get the urge to switch things up towards the end, but I just stick with it, and I try to, like I said, kind of go back, see what we didn't do, put it on the list for this week, and, you know, try to get it done. So, and some things I let go. Like, I'm like, we're not going to do that one. We didn't do it then, we're not going to do it now. I'm not going to do that, you know, so there's a balance. Okay, so I'm done with that. I should do week 18, but I'm gonna stop so I can go help Ramses.
I'm gonna serve him, so then you'll have like another 30 minutes.
At a point where I don't feel like super guilty anymore, you know. There are a lot of activities. They're at an age where, like, wow, you know, they're above grade level and we're not doing too much. Okay, well, since Ramses says I have 30 more minutes, I'm going to do next week's. Next week's, I'll probably just do the bare minimum, just so that I leave us some room to move over things from this week's overloaded, you know, list to next week. So let me do that really quick. Okay, we're playing music, so I'm gonna just speed all this up. We're going to decorate the Christmas tree and, you know, work on the puzzle and make dinner and all that. So let's go.